We saw a young woman saying that the juice was not enough for 3 people, but she already knew what had to be done. The young woman then distributes the juice in 3 glasses, being that the last one is almost empty. Even if about a little liquid, the young woman refuses to put everything. In the backyard, the woman questions why the young woman is taking so long, thinking that she went to the market. The young woman then puts water inside the glass that there was little juice and follows her way. The woman sighs. At last the young woman is approaching and the girl is happy too. The young woman says that there was the juice of all, and the girl tries to get one of the glasses, but the young woman denies. So Disturbindo juices the way she wants and she finds strange. The young woman then says she would return soon. The girl then questions the reason she served her different. The woman says that probably finished and served it different, so asking her doubts. The girl says that the supposed juice did not taste like anything, but the woman says not to care for the color of the juice and drinks soon. The girl then drinks and spits, explaining that it had nothing of juice but taste of water with sugar. The woman picks up the glass and tries to inspire, but concludes asking her to stop frills. The girl says to try that she would know, but the woman says that it was strange because the girl would never do that. The girl insists that it was not juice. The woman says she would have been called and so took her, then probably lacked juice and completed with water. The girl says that if it really is what I would have to at least explain to her to understand. The woman says she had nothing to say because she knew how the young woman was. The girl answers truthfully about not having liked and could have warned the young woman about his visit to at least prepare, or she give the juice to visits while not drinking anything. The woman offers her juice if he made so much issue of it. The young woman refuses because she would run out of juice, and the woman says she did not understand the reason the young woman did it. The girl laughs, saying she still lied for the false juice. The woman asks to wait because she would talk to the young woman. In the garage we saw the young woman sneaking drinking her hidden juice, and soon after that the woman approaches saying she was looking for her and questions the reason for having given water with sugar to the girl. The young woman plays the saint and the woman replies that she knew her for a long time and did not need to lie. The young woman continues denying and explains that she gave apple juice because the orange would have ended. The woman replies that she must have thought it was apple but it was pure water because the young woman asks if she was sure she'd proved it. But the woman admits that she did not taste but was actually pure water, so questioning the reason. The young woman says not to say that it was pure water without at least having proof, so explaining that they had many years of friendship and so could not believe the person who just met. The woman asks to look at their juice and compare with the girl because it was pure water. The young woman insists that it was not water but apple juice and that the girl must have lied to both have to fight. The woman says she was putting things in her head because that was water, but the young woman asks her to stop questioning whether she would believe her or not. The woman says she knew that the girl was not invited but could not do that with her because if it was the other way would not be treated like that. The young woman says she would have to believe because she knew her for a long time than the girl, because she was putting both cons because she was sure she gave apple juice to the girl, explains that if they were friends for sure she accepted but that she stops talking behind her back. The woman agrees and explains that since the girl entered the house is treating her very well. The young woman says she knew, but as she had spoken about the girl being putting both cons, so explaining to drink the juice because she would meet another friend who was coming. Her friend says she was a long time away waiting, and the young woman apologizes, explaining that she was talking to another friend and her other friend who was not invited, and the friend asks who it was. The young woman answers her name and the friend recognizes her. The young woman asks if she knew and the friend replies that it was her cousin. The young woman replies that she never heard of her and she explains that she never had the opportunity but confirms that they were cousins. The young woman apologizes for her cousin and explains that she would have come home, and when she saw that she did not have enough juice completed with water in her glass, she added that she was complaining but only completed with water, so asking her opinion if she thought it was right. The friend apologizes but in his opinion was wrong because if you do not want to come to your home, you were warned before doing that. The young woman answers that the juice that was in the refrigerator did not give to the 3 besides not having the guest. the friend explains that in his place would not give anything because would not pass the same shame that passed. The young woman says she would give yes because the woman is her friend and that the girl is not even invited and therefore would not spend money to buy juice for her. The friend says that her heart was hard and asks if her cousin would have done something to be treated like that. The young woman answers that it is the first time she saw her and at first did not like her visit, explaining that her real friend was the woman. The friend then asks to understand, since I did not know her and had never seen her before, so asking why treat her so badly, because the right thing was to know and then draw your conclusions. The young woman replies that she did not treat her badly and just did not want to spend her money buying juice for her, compliments that her friend would have discovered and swore to her that it was apple juice because she did not want her to be more friends with the girl than her. The friend says that she understood everything and was making drama for reasons of friendship of the woman. The young woman agrees, saying that she did not want their friendship to be better than hers. The friend says that she already knows what to do and if let in the house would tell his cousin that it would be the first and last time of her there. The girl agrees, saying that it would be good to leave soon and do not even think of taking the woman because she was his friend and his house was her house too. The friend agrees that she would do it now. The young woman apologizes for talking about her cousin and the friend replies that she would do it but did not expect to be treated the same way. The young woman answers that she had not understood. The girl is still unhappy and her cousin approaches, saying that it was good to see her. The girl explains that she came with the woman and asks why she is there. The cousin explains that she came to say something and she asks to say. The question was if she had a problem with the young woman and she denies it because she had never seen. The cousin explains that she was out there and the young woman began to speak very badly of her and did not think it right, so questioned her attitudes besides having scolded her over the juice. The girl explains that she did not understand that and still commented with the woman and perhaps would not have left juice and received water, compliments about his father being owner of all that and was commenting on the situation of the young woman with the woman and even without no wingla, and even though she owed 3 months rent she had the disposition but without knowing was treated very badly. The cousin explains that she did not know that they were of the same family, and made it clear that treating her badly would not have the same consideration and still would not have understood. The girl explains that life was like this and was treated badly for no reason and did not even know who she was, so it means she treated everyone badly, and her cousin agrees. The girl then asks for explanations about no there. The cousin says she knew her for a long time and the girl says it was good and the young woman must have changed her behavior knowing that they are cousins. The cousin reveals that she was surprised and the girl replies that then should have connected who was daughter, and she confirms. The girl explains that she would talk to her to see if she changed her mind about treating badly. The two then say goodbye. Inside the house the girl sits explaining that she wanted to talk before leaving. The young woman asks about still being in her house, thinking she had already gone. The girl denies, saying she wanted to talk seriously, and the young woman asks. The girl explains that she had no need to speak but would quote wrong thing she had done, because she did not know her being the owner of all that. The young woman confronts her, saying that everything she was talking was a lie. The girl explained that her father was the owner of all that and concluded that he did not know who he was, explains that he was only inside the house because of his help that had consideration for the woman, and did all this without knowing. When she finally met her she had a bad impression. The young woman asks how she could have received it. The girl replies that she could have received her well because it was the least and not with a glass of water with sugar. The young woman replies that she could have said that her father was the owner of all that but everything was fine since it would have passed. The girl questions whether he treated well as much money and should not have said that his father owned all that just to be treated well. The young woman says that she has realized that there is not much money and proposes to leave all this behind because it was a thing of the past, then asks her father to give 3 more months and so could pay the rent, explaining that they would be best friends and that you should have said that your father owned all that stuff there. The girl points out that she did not have to say who is to be treated well and she should not be explaining why she owes 3 months rent. The young woman then says if she could talk to her father about his situation because she loved the house and beautiful. The girl replies that if she is in the house and because of you, because your friend came to talk about everything and with it spoke to his father. But as soon as she stepped in, the house was treated very badly. The first thing she would do when seeing her father was to send her away. The young woman asks for another opportunity and says that she could not leave because she loved the house, so worried about what the neighbors would think when she saw he was going out, begging her to talk to her father and not be like herself. The girl says to reassure herself because she would never be like her and would never treat someone as she was treated, even more without knowing the person, and could do favors that she did not even imagine, being the daughter of the owner. The young woman replies that she did not even know that he had a daughter. The girl says that by chance her cousin was a friend of hers too. The girl explains that she would not say anything else and would only ask to leave, and no longer treat people badly without even knowing, because the right thing was to treat the people you do not know well, and within 3 days to leave the house.